there is a grand rising. And we're having so much fun exploring that topic. Each month we have a new focus. And for the month of October, our theme is Power to the People. Love that. And our title of our message today is Power Begins Within. So our message today will be brought by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. And I know that you're going to enjoy what she shares. Let's kick things off. We're so glad that you made it here, that you're joining us. And we're going to kick things off with our welcoming video. Here we go.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Before I go into our meditation, I want to remind you that if you have any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like us to include later in our service, when we do our affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, please add them to the chat, and Charlene will make sure that they are included after our message when we go into prayer. But for now, it's time for our meditation. All right, folks, sit back, relax, just take a deep breath. Hold it and release. And let's do that one more. Deep and release. And this time, make sure that you're taking in a breath through your nose, holding it, releasing through your mouth. I love starting meditation with those deep breaths. It's a way just of letting our body know that we're on pause and we're going into meditation. It just slows us down, focusing on our breath. So keep breathing. Try to keep practicing that in through your nose, holding and releasing through your mouth. And you can keep your eyes open. You can close them and enjoy the wonderful video that you see. It's up to you. You get to do what you want to do during this time, whatever helps you to go into that meditative state. So as you breathe, center your body and bring your awareness within. And as you release, think about any feeling or sensation that you have within your body that might be weighing you down. Any negativity, any worry, any resentment, any anger, any tension, any worry, any frustration that you might be having at this moment or that you carried with you in this week. Just try as you breathe out to release it. And I'm looking at that beautiful waterfall and just thinking, just letting it flow, letting anything that you're holding on to that might be negative, something that you don't need to carry with you, just let it go. Just let it go and let it fall away. And as you do this, I want you to listen to these words and really take them in. You are love. You are divine. You are magnificently created with a divine purpose. You are guided. You are protected. You are protected in ways that you cannot even imagine. There is a divine power within you. It makes you strong. It makes you hopeful. It fills you with peace. No matter what is happening around you, that light inside of you burns so brightly that it just eradicates, destroys, makes anything that's negative, anything that's dark, anything that is competing against that light just disappear. And so it's time to shine. Let that light come out. And with that being said, I want you to take a deep breath again and concentrate on or visualize something or a person or a situation that you would like to manifest. And as you continue to concentrate, to visualize that, breathe out, knowing that you will receive it soon. As you concentrate on or visualize that something that you need to manifest in your life, try to think of every little detail that is involved with that person, that situation. And I'm going to give you a few seconds just to do that. Every little detail. Now imagine yourself just celebrating the success of receiving that desired outcome. Concentrate on, visualize that happiness that you have as what you have manifested is now reality. And now express gratitude. Express gratitude toward the universe for the blessing that is already happening. Knowing that what you just focused on is already working its way to you. It's already on its way. So much gratitude. Now slowly bring your breath, your focus back to your breath. Breathing in gently and slowly. Bringing your awareness to this moment. And gently open your eyes whenever you're ready to join us, knowing that we have some wonderful music waiting for you.
Hello, CSL Leesburg. Good morning. I am beaming to you from Milwaukee, and it was an absolute blessing and surprise to see Renee and John in Denver on Friday. So I just want to send love to them in case they're present this morning. And it's so beautiful to see Shar last Sunday. Thank you all so much for thinking of me and making the time to be there while I was making some music. This song is by Ana Hernandez and Ruth Cunningham. Peace be with us, peace before us, peace to the left of us, peace behind us, peace to the right of us, peace above us, peace below us, peace within. Love be with us, love before us, love to the left of us, love behind us, love to the right of us, love above us, love below us, love within. Power be with us, power before us, power to the left of us, power behind us, power to the right of us, power above us, power below us, power within, power within. Power begins within.
Woo! Thank you, Leah. Wow. And thank you, Tamara. What a wonderful opening meditation. Sprinkled in with a little visualization for what we seek is seeking us. And it is on its way. So good morning and welcome to CSL Leesburg. It is the first Sunday in October. I always say it, wow, the year's flying by. And that's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. This month, we are talking about power. And I don't want to trigger you, but power sometimes comes with the idea of power over us. A lot of times we've come up in a society that has all kinds of rules about how to win power, how to keep power, the power over people. And as soon as you get it, don't let it go. Fight like heck to keep your power. And this is not the power that I'm speaking of, so let me just get that out the way up front. When we talk about power to the people, which is the month of October, we are now talking about the power beginning within. And this power that I'm talking about is the kind of power that we're all born with because we're connected to something bigger. We're all innocent, beloved of the divine. It's just that when we get in community with each other, sometimes it gets weird. Sometimes you get people who want to wield their power over others. There are books written. Over the centuries, there have been books written. And I purposely downloaded this book that is the exact, I don't want to say the exact opposite because I'm getting through it. And I want to take every single chapter and twist it to a spiritual, like decide where I stand from a spiritual standpoint, which I will be discussing for the rest of this talk. But I must begin with what power is not. You ready to hear some of these sections? So the book is called The 48 Laws of Power. I was like, oh, really? Tell me what you got. So I opened the book and listening to it as I walk. Never put too much trust in friends, and learn how to use your enemies. That's lesson number 2. Law number 2. All right. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Win through your actions, never through argument. Okay, I like that one. Learn to keep, okay, lesson number 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. This is a power over others kind of teaching, and they refer back to the Art of War, Nietzsche, Lao Tzu. Well, Lao Tzu he did some good stuff, but like all of this referring back to the male-driven hierarchical structure of power over others, which, as we know, it's a power with a lowercase p. Because when it comes down to it, yes, it's true that a lot of people, they grew up in the feudal times and there was court. There was a king, and you were maybe, if you're lucky, part of the court. And part of the court, you had to play games. You would not just openly stab someone in the back. You'd put your knife in a gloved hand as you smile and hug him and then stab him. And that's the stuff of the, I don't want to say lower frequencies, but it's kind of what it is. It's when we believe power is out there and we must grab it because it's a limited resource, then we start acting a little nuts. There becomes this deceptive, show them one face, but think another thing. And I'm telling you, as I go through, pose as a friend, work as a spy. You know, as I go through each one of these, and I intend to go through each one, and I'm going to be deciding where I stand spiritually on each one of these, because it's coming from a point of view that is based on 2 things. The first thing, power is out there and I must go get it. The second thing is that it is in limited supply. So once I get it, I'm going to rule over others. And I'm not going to ever let it go. And so that's nothing near the truth. As we move through our stages of development in spirituality, we know that that's kind of stage 1, isn't it? Stage 1 is where we might have something like, things happen to me. Things happen to me, I'm a victim. So what I have to do, start controlling it. Start controlling the outside, because if I could just get the outside to look exactly the way it should look, then I will be happy. It's the putting the outside first. It comes with a lot of shallow behavior, a lot of acting. It seems like a lot of work. But that's stage 1 of spirituality. As you move through and you realize, things don't happen to me, they may be happening for me. Everything that I come across, every sort of obstacle that comes up in front of me is there to help me grow and become the higher person that I'm meant to be. But if I never stop, take a moment, get within and go within myself, I might not even know that I was born with everything I need, that I have access to a power so much greater than that which we see in the regular world, that why would I ever fear that these people don't have power over me, the true me, myself? And even we listened to the Viktor Frankl, who talked about man's search for meaning. He wrote that while he was he had the scribbles of the notes when he was in Auschwitz. And he even said, well, they might imprison my body, but they can't imprison my mind. The guards can only have dominion over the flesh that is me. They don't have dominion over me. He was starting to get in touch with something bigger. And then The third level was things happening through me. So we've moved from, oh, they happened to me, I'm a victim, so I'm going to try to get everything I can get, greed, 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 to things happen for me, so I can maybe take this into account, and that maybe it's helping me become a bigger person, a better person. I can use everything that's thrown against me to my betterment. Yeah, they meant it for evil, but I'm going to turn it into good. And then there's things happen through me. At this point, you're like, oh, I am the hands of the divine. I can help. I can see a situation that needs help, and the help is coming through me. It's coming from the divine, a divine source that I have access to because it's within, and I can give from the overflow. And now, instead of showing up with a grabby energy, what can I get? Or a judgy energy, or even going through these 48 laws of power and try to control everybody as if I'm the only smart one and everyone else is an actor in my play. I'm now serving others. Serving others. When Tamara took us through the visualization and the opening meditation, I saw myself serving. I do have a vision where I'm helping a large group of people, but I'm not doing it so they say, Charlene is great. I kind of want to be invisible to the degree that I still get to have my privacy, right? And then I want them to leave whatever situation I set up. I want them to leave a little lighter on their feet, with a little hope in their heart, with some sort of idea about how they're going to change the future, how they're going to change their situation, that they have now received permission to access the power that they've already had inside this whole time. It's just that we didn't know. So my job is like, crack open the can, look inside, it's you. I love to give that to people. Wouldn't that be great to see everybody just being themselves even more than they already were? Unfolding like a beautiful flower, just brightening up this world with a colorful, everybody different and colorful, and roses and fields of beauty, because that's who they are shining through. Nice. And then the fourth stage, though, is it happens as me. Not even just through me. Like, it's not a thing that I'm consciously thinking and then it comes through me. It's just the universe, the divine, is expressing itself as me, as you. We are the face of God, or the divine, or goddess, whatever you call her. We are the face of her, each and every one of us. So we don't have to get a facelift or a BBL or whatever other things people are doing. We already are the embodiment of the divine. So yay, that's what I want you to know about power. So as I talk about the power within, I want to let us release any ideas, anything that we might be triggered by if someone in the past used their power over us. I want us to know there is a different type of power with an uppercase P that is the power to rise above the appearances. What does that mean? Well, I guess if you think about it like this, two people are in a fight and one of them is hurling insults. The other one has a choice. I can think of some better insults and hurl them back, but it's hard to fight darkness with more darkness because it's just darkness bigger. But if one of these people hurls insults and the other one pauses, chooses, and then responds differently from a conscious state of I have power, they are probably a little bit triggered or in pain, or maybe they've got some trauma. If I can find some compassion, some higher level, something higher than fear, anger, hurt, worry, doubt, if I could go up the ladder, if it were a ladder, and get into compassion, empathy, even love, that's the very highest, but we don't have to go to love right away. Anything higher than the darkness of negativity, boom, I just turned on a light switch. And there's nothing better to beat darkness than a big old light bulb. Where you at now? Oh, I don't think there's any darkness left. It flees in the face of a light switch, which is also powered by a light, which has energy. Of course, the house has to have power. God bless the people in North Carolina. May they get power soon. So you get the idea though, light. Light is the only thing that can banish the darkness. That's the power I'm talking about. So acknowledging that, yes, we do want to transform and be able to contact our inner power and bring out the light of the divine, which is in each and every one of us. If I could sing, I would break into this little light of mine. I can't sing, won't do that. So therefore, I know you're thinking about it. We have that within us, and we can bring it into our experience anytime we want. It does require us to pause. It does require us to take that triggering moment and just pause and give ourselves that half a second to choose another reaction than the reaction that might have just been knee-jerk. When we choose, it's no longer a reaction. It's a response. It's a intentional response that lets us maintain our inner power. We maintain our seat of control, and we do not just give that up just because something's happening in front of us, because things are going to happen in front of us. So by facing this truth that we do have power, we don't have to just eschew all power. Power's bad. No. Trying to find a way to have power over other people, that's going to be a fruitless endeavor. But power in and of itself, the one with the capital P, the one that's inside of us, well, that's quite powerful, quite profound. And when we can come from there, we can use it as a force for good in our lives. We're calling this clean power. Like clean energy is the energy that powers our cars and our homes, but it doesn't, it's cleaner, which means it's not a, which means it is a renewable resource, maybe like solar power or wind power or hydroelectric power, that kind of thing. When I talk about clean power, it's the kind of power that comes from within. And we're going to use our power in our lives, not the dirty power, which comes from taking things from other people and wielding control over them. And hold on, what did he say? Act like a spy. I'm sorry. Every time I read it, I'm trying to take this book seriously. I really am. But seriously, pose as a friend, work as a spy. That's not clean power. So next up on the list of things, not only to wake up to the power that's within, the second thing you're going to want to encounter here and you're going to want to lean into is forgiveness. The moment we sit, we pause, we look within, we find our own power, we will be able to heal previous trauma if we forgive. And that word, it's a big word. Forgiveness often sounds like we agree with the behavior of the offender. But I want to break apart that continuum. Just because somebody has treated me wrong, or they, again, back to the conversation of harsh words were spoken by one side, and I could either go low or go high, I then get to choose not to be around them. And that's fine. But if I choose not to be around that person, but also harbor ill will, I've not solved anything. I'm now carrying around pain with me. Pain in the moment is necessary. Pain 2 years later, that's trauma. It's a trauma response. I keep harming myself with memories of what they said. And the minute I start thinking, okay, now I'm better, then part of me will say, but remember when they said that thing? If I'm not careful, I can gather a bunch of, like a snowball effect, I can gather a bunch of the negative things that have happened, hold it somewhere, and continue to beat myself up over those things, even though they're not happening anymore. This is not even natural. We were talking in dream study about the animals, how they, a rabbit or a deer or a zebra just kind of grazing on things, and then there's a predator. So they run like crazy, cortisol running through their body. They're stressed out. They've got the response mechanism, flight or fight. They're running like crazy. And then they get themselves safe. They find either a little den or some area where the predator is no longer there. And you know what they do? They shake. They shake. I'm sorry. I'm going to look back at this video and say, why am I crazy? Why am I shaking? But you got to shake it off. Taylor Swift, shake it off. You got to shake it off. Why? Because the cortisol, the stress hormone that causes humans to have a shorter life, get a lot of different diseases, including autoimmune disorders, among others, diabetes, heart disease. It all comes from held stress that has not been released from the body. So, why don't we shake more? Something happens, somebody says a thing, and even if you stayed low or you went high, it's over. Shake, shake, shaky. Whatever you can do to get over it. And then forgive. This is the magic sauce. I don't know that the animals know about forgiveness, but we do. Maybe shaking plus forgiveness, which doesn't mean go back in there for another abusive session. It does mean leave or get yourself safe, shake it off, forgive, so that that stress, that harm can stop. It has a stopping point. We don't bring it with us into our future and kind of muddy everything else that we're looking at. If we're not careful, when we bring stress with us, it kind of muddies everything else. We start to be that bitter person, judging before somebody can open their mouth. I bet they're going to be just like so-and-so. It's that becomes sort of a callus around our hearts, and it keeps us very closed off. So we have the power to forgive. We want to grow, and when you grow because you're free and there is no callus, there's no calcification around the roots. We're able to grow bigger, stronger, better, be more of who we're meant to be because we can forgive. So we're releasing the grip of all the painful memories, shaking off anything that had a control over our present mind. And we can become more present now because we don't have a charge in our bodies from the past. We don't have a visceral reaction to very neutral things that just float by. We're not gripped by some traumatic response because we've allowed it to release from our bodies. And then the more we do this, which is not a one-time thing, forgive every day, just as you brush your teeth every day and you meditate every day and you might work out often, you also must release any hard feelings you have against yourself, against another person, anything that you don't want to bring with you. It's time to let it go. It's like just do a little death cleaning every day inside your psyche. You know the Swedish death cleaning, right? You go through your house and you get rid of anything that you don't want your kids or your survivor, whoever survives you. You don't want them to have to slog through all your stuff, so you get rid of it. It's that. Go through your psyche and just find places in your body that kind of feel like a little tight. And there are some exercises, somatic healing exercises where you can go through and interrogate, using your body as an anchor to try to find where might you be holding on to a little bit of trauma. Because when you can release that, you'll be like, wow, I didn't even know that was there. All right, because then we'll have access to more and more clean power through this. And through clean power, where you're coming from a state of, I'm open to new ideas. I'm happy to talk to people. I'm not as defensive of my position. I want to really listen to your position. Maybe I don't even have a position anymore. Maybe I'm just curious. How would that feel to you if you walked around just curious about people, curious about their position, as opposed to being certain that you know what they think and you're sure you don't like it? What if we just asked questions and open-ended, open-minded? Doesn't that just sound lighter? It just sounds lighter. How would it express itself if you were walking around with clean power, which means knowing who you are and being excited about what you're here to do and being able to serve others with your light, how might that change your energy? Would it create a space of safety for other people? Would they start sharing with you more information than they did before? Would they find other ways to connect with you? Would you find more friends from all different areas in life? I think it's possible. It's really about our inner work, isn't it? Healing ourselves, healing our relationships, being in community with each other, like C.S.L. Leesburg, having this community to go through the different ups and downs. Each of us go through each of our ups and downs at different times. We don't all go through every life stage together at the exact same time, and that allows us to be that space for each other. It creates a fabric, a safe, soft place to land. And some of us may resonate, oh, yep, been through that. Somebody else, oh, I'm going through that now. Or someone, I haven't been through that yet. What's that like? We just have this group that's able to hold each other in times of good and in times of lack, so-called lack. And this week I've just been falling back on that. I've been falling back on everything that happens to me is really happening for me. Everything that happens to me. And sometimes I'm like, okay, can't wait to see how this is happening for me, but all right, let's go. If I keep that mindset, then I'm more likely to be open to, fine, okay, we've got to pivot. Here's my plan I had before, but I guess we're pivoting. What are we doing now? Staying open to what wants to come through in this moment, because the best made plans are laughed at by the gods. So that's what we talk about. Now, of course, Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of this teaching, CSL, he says, okay, there's something which waits on our recognition to spring into being, bringing with it all the power in the universe. What? Okay, I'll read it again. And this is from his book, Creative Mind and Success. All right. There's something which waits on our recognition to spring into being, bringing with it all the power in the universe. There's a dormant power, and it's just waiting. Doesn't that explain a lot? Think about the people, or think about yourself before you knew that this was true, even if that was 5 minutes ago. Before you knew that there was a power waiting for our recognition, waiting till we realize, oh, there is a power within. Then it springs forth with all the power in the universe behind it. Well, then that would explain why some stuff didn't happen up until now. It explains why when we're talking to our friends, we can say, instead of, oh, you know, I'm never lucky with that situation, we could start saying, up until now, I haven't been lucky with that situation. Because what we're doing is we're realizing there's a power waiting to be recognized. And when we recognize it, everything changes. Isn't that the best news ever? All right, well, it is time for me to close. I could talk to you forever. I just love speaking to you all. Let me check the chat. Okay, sure, absolutely. Let's go within and just do this is a time where we go into what we call spiritual mind treatment. It is our way of affirming in prayer that what we desire is already happening. So listen for how that works in our prayer. So here we are, and I am just simply noticing and realizing and recognizing that there is one power, one unified energy moving through all of creation. This energy, this divine consciousness created everything out of itself. It did not then leave. It is still happening. It is still creating everything out of itself. Every second, every moment, every idea each of us has comes from possibly the spark of the divine, the universal power that's lying in wait. to be recognized, to be accepted and used for the highest good of all involved. So since we are one with this energy, there can be no separation. It's just a matter of recognizing it or not. I speak my word that each of us wakes up to this power within, knows that this is the light that shines upon every being on this planet, and we can use it for good. In this energy of knowing who we really are, I speak my word for Susan and for Dennis, who's in hospice. Let Dennis find peace and let his suffering be eased. May whatever is uncomfortable in Dennis and in his surrounding family be a place for the light to shine. Allow the darkness, whatever that might look like, to just flee in the presence of the divine light that is Susan and all those that are opening themselves and recognizing the truth about who they are. Let there be compassion, love, and healing happening even now through all of those affairs. I speak my word for anyone who is in the presence of previous hurricane destruction. It has been vast, it has been wide. There are many hands that are helping, and may all of them work together for the highest good. May everybody just be of service to each other in any way that they can, because it is in these times of disaster that the helpers light up the world. The hearts grow 1,000 times as they connect with each other, help each other, lift each other up. So I speak my word that everything is unfolding in a very divine way, even though it may not look like it, that what's really happening is the best kind of power and the best kind of connection that can be. Any place where there's wars or rumors of wars, any sort of dis-ease and unrest, I also know that right in the presence of that situation is that divine light is being recognized right now. It's being shown on each situation. And so I simply know that this is true. I just simply give thanks, because as I speak it into the law, I know that it is unfolding even now. And so I rest in the gratitude and the excitement to watch how the positive, how the light, how the love, how the generosity and abundance unfolds in each of these situations. I release my word into the law, knowing it is done. And so it is. Ashe. Amen. And let's hear from Leah another song.
So we may have done this song and shared the mudras together, but this is my jam. This is my theme song for this time of the year. So I'm going to invite you again to participate in this with me. Sing, do the moves, embody this song. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I have got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. And I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. Yes, I got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. Yes, I got peace like a river in my soul.
Oh my goodness. Oh, folks, it always seems, I don't know about you guys, but it always seems like you tune in and get just the message, just the message that you need to hear. Thank you so much, Reverend Charlene, for that fantastic message today. Thank you, Leah. Oh my gosh, especially for that last song, because yeah, I knew the words. I could sing along with that, and that is a good one. All right, folks, now is the time that we bless the donations that are shared with our CSL Leesburg. As you heard in our opening video, we believe in the law of circulation. As you give, so shall you receive. And there are so many ways to give. You can look at the screen. Odds are you found something that works for you. And I want you to know that you take whatever you give. It allows us to do what we do, bring the message and the music and the meditation to you on Sundays, but we also give some back to our home organization, CSL, the home organization, and to other organizations that are helping to create a world that works for everyone. So, like I said, as you give, so shall we receive. It's always, always circulating. What you give comes back. So, no matter how you're giving, take that, place it over your heart, and join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. Oh my goodness. Now it's time for some announcements. And you heard Charlene mention Dream Study. And this is something that we do on alternating Saturdays at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can join Charlene and her friends, and they talk about their dreams. They share their dreams. They help each other interpret their dreams. We know that the power is within, and we are always being divinely guided. Sometimes it's laying dormant. We can't quite figure out what's happening, but we're getting guidance in our dreams. So Charlene and friends listen to your dreams and help you interpret and see if you can get some guidance that's coming to you even when you're asleep. So the next meeting will be on October 19th at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Join Charlene and her friends if you can. And do we have any other announcements? I don't think so. It's our closing. But before we sign off, I want to remind you about pearls. I've even had to resort to writing sideways in my little journal today, Charlene. I filled up both pages. So if there was something that really resonated with you in the meditation, in the message, or in the music, and you'd like to share this, maybe question, maybe ask something of Charlene, maybe even kind of just explore something, or share your insights, something that really, you ready for this one, Char? Made a light bulb go off, right? Since we're talking about power, was there something that happened today during the service that you'd like to share with us? Then hang around. This is what we call pearls. And we share, we discuss, we just spend a little time together. Please join us if you can. Just hang on, just stay and hang out with us after our service. If you can, if you have to leave right afterwards, just know that we send you off with our love and our blessings after we do our closing affirmations. So here we go. Once again, put your hands on your heart and just really feel that power within, that divine love. And join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
See, I didn't even have to cue you. Some of you know I want you to turn on your mics. I want to hear you. All right, ready for the next one? Turn your mic on. Think of someone who needs that message of love. It might be somebody who's in the room with you. It might be a friend, a relative. It might be a furry companion. It might be somebody who is miles and miles and miles away. Whoever needs that message. It might be somebody in a hospital, in a place where they had to seek shelter. It might be someone who's homeless. It might be someone who's just going through a rough time. Let's send that message out to them, no matter who they are. We know they're going to feel it. Here we go. You ready? You are loved.
Your love.
You are loved.
You are loved.
Yes, you guys, I love that so much. All right, now we're going to put our hands up in the air and know that it all begins with love. There is only love. Here we go. You ready? It's all love.
It's all love.
Oh, I love that chorus of voices. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking a little time out of your day to be with us, to celebrate this message of the power is always, always within. So that's all we have for today. Stay if you can, and if not, just know that we love